Yo, what is up, everybody? We are back here on the third channel. Now, first of all, I want to thank you guys. The last video on this channel has been like my highest performing video for a while. I think there's a few factors. One, there's been like this whole thing with EDP where he's been apparently been having videos taken down, or videos have been taken down for harassment if they play a certain clip. So I don't know if people are coming over just to see if that clip's on my video, because I know Dillion's stream got taken down and all this stuff, whatever. But thank you anybody that came over. I know it's not a great video for me to to go crazy on YouTube, or to do well on YouTube is like me just ranting about some weirdo. But here we are again. We're here to rant again. And for those of you who might be new to the channel, obviously this is my third channel. And the reason I made this channel was to make little rant videos just talking about random shit that's going on in the YouTube space or in the world or whatever it is. I just made this channel just to do that. Now, I have other channels. If you're new here, you don't know, I have two other channels. I have King Boys Productions, King Boys Reactions, where most of my like funnier content is at. Here's gonna have some funny content too, reacting to certain things like maybe trailers, maybe funny skits, videos, whatever the hell. But I've just kind of been not super focused on this channel right now. I've been focused on a lot of other stuff, but that's what this is if you're new here. But obviously you read the title. Today I wanted to talk about the whole thing going on with Logan Paul and Dillion Danis. Now, if you guys don't know, Logan Paul and Dillion Danis have a fight coming up in October. I believe it's October 14th. I'm not 100% sure on that. I believe it's October 14th. They're boxing on the what they call Prime card, which is also featuring Tommy Fury and KSI as like a co-main event. And people are really excited for it. And I gotta say, personally, I'm excited for it too, because I do like KSI. You know, if you know Tommy Fury, I've watched him on Love Island. I like that show. And that's the thing is I've been really interested in this Logan Paul Dillion Danis fight. Now, I don't really have a care. I honestly don't like. You'll see as I explain more in this video of why I don't like Dillion Danis. But Logan Paul's not the greatest guy either, right? Like, he's done some bad things. I mean, obviously there's the clear one, which I think he messed up in the whole Forest thing. We know that, and I feel like he's kind of made amends for that. Obviously, it was super fucked up. He's kind of explained why it happened, just the fact that he was so focused on this daily grind that he wasn't even thinking straight, and he apologized, and he donated a lot of money to charities that focus on mental health issues that are leading them to suicide, whatever it is. So he kind of made amends for that, but since then, he's been involved with a couple like crypto scams. He was involved with one called like Dink Doink or something like that. And then most recently, he's been a part of one called Crypto Zoo. Now, Crypto Zoo was like this stupid fucking thing. And again, I'm not a super crypto bro, nerd, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I would never. I invested in like a little bit of crypto, like some coins, but I never got into the NFT shit. And it's so funny that shit just died fucking fast as hell. And it's like almost like everyone knew that shit was gonna happen. Like, yeah, NFTs are never gonna last because they're dumb as fuck. But I invested a little bit in Bitcoin when it was like way higher, and I lost a bunch of money. And I invested in a couple other like cryptocurrencies, just because my buddy was like super crypto-y, and he was kind of like, you should invest in this. So I did, and I lost probably like $60. So that's great. But I'm done with that. I haven't done crypto in a long time, and I don't think anyone really does it anymore. But anyway, Crypto Zoo was this like thing where you bought these virtual eggs, and then they apparently like hatched into creatures. And these creatures, you could keep them all in your thing, and you could like breed animals in your crypto. I don't know. It was like Pokemon type shit. Like, it was like a fake ass Pokemon and all this stuff. Well, it turns out people bought into this Crypto Zoo. Everyone got scammed in this. Like, everyone lost their money. No one got their product, because it turns out like the person running this Crypto Zoo was Logan Paul, but it was also somebody else, like basically pulled out and stole everyone's money, yada, yada, yada. And so to atone for that, Logan Paul has stated, oh, hey, I'm going to pay back all the, this is partially his fault, and it is partially his fault, right? But he said he's going to pay back the $1.3 million that people lost. He has not. And yet, he's out here making $1 million bets with Conor McGregor that he's going to beat Dillon Danis and all this shit. And it's like, well, if you have $1 million to bet on yourself, why can't you take $1 million and repay the people that you scammed off CryptoZoo? Because he's not really sorry. Because he's going to go die on this hill that it wasn't his fault. And he said, oh, I'm working on it. Sounds like you have the money. Because guess what? If you did $1 million bet with Conor McGregor, you lose. You owe him $1 million. What are you just going to just not pay him? You know, it's just like that typical thing. So I don't think Logan's the best of guys either. I think he made a little bit of a comeback, but then he started doing all this like crypto scam bullshit again. So it's kind of hard to, to like everything that he's doing. I like Prime. I'm actually a fan of Prime. I drink it pretty often. I do think it's a good beverage. Honestly, I'm not trying to dick suck or nothing, but I truly actually enjoy like Ice Pop is my favorite flavor. I love that drink. My friends will even tell you like I'd be drinking Prime all the time. But I'm mostly here to talk about Dillon Danis because I think Dillon Danis is a liar and I think he's a creepy ass dude. And he's harassing people at this point. Like it's turned to a point where, I mean, it had for a while, but he's a compulsive liar and he's just harassing people at this point. And by people, I mean Logan's wife, Nina, and I forgot her last name, or his fiance, sorry. Nina something, I can't remember off the top of my head. If you don't know, this all kind of started I would say about a month ago, maybe even longer than that. Dillion started posting on Twitter, like pictures of Nina with various men, basically claiming like, oh, she dated this man. Oh, she let this man hit. Oh, she did this. Oh, she did this. Been doing this for a long time now. To a point where at first it was kind of like, this is kind of funny. Oh man, she's dated all these people. It's gotten to a point now where he's posting photoshopped pictures. He's posting like super risque photos of her. But again, she's a model. Like I don't know what exactly she models for, but she's a model. Meaning that she poses for like, half nude or whatever it is for photos all the time. And he's posting them online. Whatever. It's fine, I guess. Weird. But he even resorted to a few weeks ago now, posting or talking about this video that apparently came out that everyone was saying was it was a porn video. I don't know if it was an OnlyFans video or if it was just a normal porn, but it was a porn video of a girl who looked similar to Nina, like basically, having sex. And everyone in the, all these little weirdos in the comments are, oh my God, Nina, this is crazy. This is so good. Of course. And it got debunked pretty much instantly. And instead of like people just post shit without, and by people I mean like people like Keemstar, people like Drama Alert on Twitter, just post shit without even verifying first. And it's really gross, first of all, because that's someone else's content that you're just taking and posting online. But also claiming that it's someone it's not is just gross. It's gross. But then also Dillion has been like photoshopping pictures of Nina with random people, not only himself, but like just random people. I don't know. Obviously, I don't think he's making the photoshops himself, but he is posting these photoshops. Some of them are clearly Photoshop, and it's like, oh, it's so funny, huh? But then there's some that are pretty good Photoshop, but you can tell at the end of the day are Photoshop. And what's really getting to me about this is like, at this point, again, he's crossed the line. I think when you are fighting someone, you can try and get in their head, right? You can try and get in their head, do whatever. But it's just so fucking weird. And you turn into, it's weirdo behavior for you to start posting someone's wife or fiance or this or that or mom or dad. It's weird. It's fucking weird. But not only that, like he's posting videos or pictures, like paparazzi ass photos of Nina kissing her ex-boyfriends. And like the whole thing is like, man, she's a slut because she's had so many ex-boyfriends. He even resorts to a point of like posting pictures of her just like with any guy ever. Like there's a picture of her with like LeBron, just like a normal like, you know, like a typical like fanboy photo with LeBron. And he's like posting photos like that. And again, people aren't claiming like, oh, she dated LeBron, but there are the weirdos in the comments that are like, LeBron probably hit too. Wow, this is so crazy. Ha ha ha. Because like Twitter is just, first of all, we already know Twitter is just this just weird rat hole place where like people can kind of, at this point it's turned into people can say whatever they want with no repercussions whatsoever. But also those kind of people then come to the top because they're fucking weird and pay Twitter to be verified on there. Let me tell you something. If you pay to be verified on Twitter and you're not some sort of celebrity or business, you're a fucking weirdo. And I will die on that hill. Like certain celebrities that want to that want to connect with their fans on Twitter or want to share information, so they're like, okay, let me buy a verification badge so people know it's me. Fine. I don't have any problem with that. Companies, because I don't want people to impersonate my company, I'm going to buy a verification badge because so people know I'm actually Wendy's or I'm actually Home Depot or whatever the fuck it is. Fine. But if you're just some random 100 follower account and you buy verification on Twitter just so people think that you're hot shit, you're a fucking weirdo. But anyway, those are the people that are in Dillion Danis' comments like, oh, Logan got burned again. Oh, Logan got burned. But it's like, you're just bringing up, I think this girl's almost 30 years old. And you're bringing up people that she's dated in her past. And again, she's a model and she's been famous for a while. So like there's a lot of paparazzi photos of her. There's a lot of like intimate photos of her that got posted online. And I don't know how, like I'm sure she probably deleted this, like probably posted a lot of them herself. Because guess what? When you're with someone, when you're dating someone, you post some nice photos, nice sometimes intimate photos. I mean, not super intimate, some people, but some people do. And then there's like videos, of course, of her just like, there's some stuff that's a little crazy. Like there was like one video of her that was, I'm not even going to repeat the whole thing, but it was just kind of she was just saying some ridiculous stuff. But again, who gives a fuck? She's like a normal 20-year-old, whatever it is, woman. Who gives a fuck? But to use that and weaponize that against someone is just disgusting. It really is. And I'm sorry, but fuck you, Dillion Danis. He's a fucking weirdo. He's weird. Now, one of my favorite parts of this whole Dillion Danis saga is he claims that he has his hands on this nuclear photo. This photo, he's been teasing this up, man. He's like, let me tell you guys something. I'm going to post this photo, and it's going to destroy Logan Paul. Then as soon as he said he has his hands on this photo, people in the comments are like, oh my God, post it. Oh my God, we need to see this photo. Then he goes, he's like, guys, Logan is threatening to cancel the fight if I post this photo. He's like, but fuck it. You guys get me to 2 million on Instagram and I'll post it. He hit 2 million on Instagram. Then all of a sudden, he comes back to Twitter. He's like, now they're threatening a lawsuit if I post this photo. But fuck it. He's like, guess what? 4 million on Twitter, on Instagram, and I'll post it. Fuck a lawsuit or whatever the fuck. So he first of all doubled. He wants to double his Instagram following. Not gonna happen. I'm very inclined to believe that this photo isn't real. Like he kept having he's had multiple times now. Like he had Aiden Ross and he had like Andrew Tate, I think, or somebody else. Like he's been like, oh. He shows them or something, and they're like, oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. At this point, I don't think the photo's real. And if it is real, I don't think it's that bad. But I also think Dillion Danis is a fucking liar. And I don't think Logan Paul is threatening to sue him, is threatening to pull out of this fight, is threatening to this and that. I think Dillion is lying about this stuff because he wants to make Logan look worse. And Logan isn't really commenting on it because he doesn't really care that much. Like, he's commented on some stuff. He hasn't commented on all the things. But apparently, at this point, too, his fiancée, Nina, has filed a restraining order against Dillon Danis. Rightfully so. It's weird what he's doing. Weirdo behavior. It doesn't matter, like, whatever you want to say about, like, fighting, about fighters. If they want to, like, keep the fight between me and you. If I'm fighting with someone, if I'm beefing with someone online, say. And I try not to beef with people online because I really don't care about anything like that. But say I was ever beefing with someone online. I'm going to talk about you. I'm not going to talk about any other shit. I'm not going to talk about your friends. I'm not going to talk about your family. I would never do that because it's not the right thing to do. It's gross. And so I don't blame her for filing a lawsuit against this guy. Like, he has weaponized everybody against her. And I'm pretty sure she's, like, shut off comments on her Instagram. She's, like, shut off, like, Twitter replies and shit. She can't even go about normally posting anymore because all the comments are just weird Dillon Danis fans that are just like, oh, are you going to post more pictures? Are you going to respond to Dillon Danis? Are you going to... And it's like, bro, what the fuck is going on? And now there's all these things. It's just like every single day, it's something else. It's something new with Dillion. Like, just saying, like, oh, Logan's team is this, Logan's team is that. But it's just a bunch of lies. I'm sorry. Nothing that comes out of that man's mouth feels truthful in any way. It just all feels like a bunch of lies. And it's like, I don't know at this point, is it to promote the fight? Is it to back him when he ends up pulling out like he did against KSI? Like, this guy hasn't fought in like 4 years. He hasn't fought a professional fight. I don't think he's fought like a sanctioned fight in 4 years. And he treats it like he thinks like he's like the best fighter. Like, look, I understand you saying you're going to win. Of course. I think you should have confidence in yourself. Anything you go into. I think you should have confidence in yourself enough to be like, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to win. But you haven't fought anybody. And every time he's been trying to fight people all this time. Like, he used to be in the comments of SportsCenter and all these sports things all the time. Like, whenever they'd post, like, Jake Paul or Logan Paul, he would just be in the comments, like, fangirling, like, I want to fight you next. Now he's finally getting the chance to actually fight somebody. Well, he had the chance with KSI. He pulled out. And he never wants to address that. He never wants to address that he ducked. He always wants to say, like, oh, I could beat KSI's ass. Well, you ducked him. Then you go in to fight Logan, and all you do is you talk about Logan. Like, there's so much firing power to Logan. There's so many things you can talk about. But he resorts to talking about his fiance. And it's just gross. And honestly, at the end of the day, like I said, I'm not a huge Logan fan, but I am rooting for Logan to win because I just want Dillon Danis to shut the fuck up. And it's crazy, like, it doesn't matter, like, what they do at this point. Like, he has so many fanboys at this point that I feel like he's done enough for himself now that he's sold the fight well. But apparently there's this claim that Dillon Danis now will bet his purse on the fight. What's the likelihood that happens? I would say very low. I would say if Dillon Danis even makes the fight, like he said, he's going to take the money even if he wins, and he's gonna go. And I don't think we'll hear from him again, especially if he loses. I think he's gonna take whatever money he got from that event, and he's gonna disappear, and he's just not gonna post for a while. And then he's eventually gonna come back, and people are gonna be like, "What happened to betting your purse?" and blah 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 blah, and he's not gonna say anything. Because I think he's a coward. I do think he is a coward. And of course, he can comment on things and say, "Oh, well, he could beat your ass." He probably could, and he'd probably easily beat my ass. But there's a difference between being able to beat someone's ass and not being a piece of shit human. And Dillon Danis is a piece of shit human. You resort to attacking a woman for her past dating history, trying to slut shame people. And we live in a society, especially with the alpha male movement, that any girl has multiple boyfriends or hangs out with men, she's all of a sudden a slut, and it's just gross. And you're pushing that narrative, that just disgusting narrative on women that they have guy friends, they're all of a sudden sluts, and it's just a fucked up narrative to push. So at the end of the day, I hope Logan comes out, and I hope he kicks Dillon's ass. And then I hope I don't know if the restraining order went through, but I low-key think would be funny as hell is if Logan beats Dillon, Then his fiance Nina comes right in and says, kind of, maybe doesn't even say nothing, just kind of looks at him, just like, yeah, bitch. And maybe gives Logan like a little kiss for like a congratulations. Comes into the ring, just kind of says like, yeah, fuck you, Dillion. And then walks away. That's kind of what I hope happens. But we'll see. Again, the fight's in October, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, if you guys did like, please leave a like, please subscribe. I'll probably make a video after the fight maybe to discuss. Probably discuss both fights just because I think they're super interesting, and I'm actually very interested in it. One of the most interesting, like, I was a big fan of the Logan Paul KSI fight back in the day, so I'm excited to see what happens with this. So, all right, thank y'all, love y'all, and until next time, it's your boy, King Boys Productions. Squaw.